Hi, I'm Jamie from Cerebration, which is an equitable training solutions social enterprise. I facilitate the Youth Mental Health First Aid course, which teaches you the skills and confidence you need to be a first responder for a young person who is experiencing a mental health crisis. The lovely people at Nook Wellness Pods sponsored a seat on our last programme to give an organisation doing meaningful work with young people access to the programme. This enabled Rose from Sistah Space to join the course. Sistah Space is a community-based, non-profit initiative created to bridge the gap in domestic abuse services for African heritage women and girls. She kindly offered to share her first-hand experience at the Youth Mental Health First Aid course delivered by Cerebration.
Hi, my name is Rose Lewis. I am from Sistah Space. We are a specialist domestic abuse charity working with African heritage, which is like African, Caribbean, and any Black people, Black women and their families going through domestic and sexual abuse.
Can you tell us how important mental health is to the work that you do?
Mental health is, it is just, if you put domestic abuse and mental health, it's the same thing. We work with so many women. Most of them recognize that there is something and they call it mental health, but the stereotypes and everything that goes with it has a huge impact on people wanting to talk about it, people wanting to get help for it. I can't even separate the two. It just goes hand in hand. And you know all the different types of mental health titles that there are, and every single one of them pertains to domestic abuse.
Was the Youth Mental Health First Aid training meaningful to you?
Absolutely. I think nearly most of the women we speak to at some stage, particularly the historical domestic abuse, would have revealed, if it's not mental health, suicide, and all what we learn on the course. Everything that we learn on this course, the women would have spoken about it or given us a short synopsis of the whole thing.
Do you feel this opportunity will support you to support young people that access your services?
An absolute 100%. To even talk about it, yeah, absolutely. I am mindful of the language of what I've learned on the course. And so, yeah, it's working already. So there you go. So the answer is absolutely yes.
What advice would you give to someone else who's considering going on the Youth Mental Health First Aid training?
The advice would be, it is absolutely essential. I think a lot of what we think we know, we really don't know. And you need to be in a forum. You need to, if you even want to call it refresh, because there is just so much to it. Every single, if you talk about mental health, that's a mental health first aid thing just by itself, and suicide is one just by itself. You just need hours talking about each of the different subjects, because it makes the difference for you and it makes the difference for the people that you're going to be working with. And like we said, although the course is entitled for young people, throughout the whole course, I was just on the domestic abuse, and I saw no difference. It was, absolutely invaluable.
Is there anything else you want to add, or any other comments that you wanted to put in?
What I'd like to add is I was very impressed with the cultural diversity that was included in the course. It just covered all areas. It gets you to come out of your comfort zone. It gets you to actually speak about other people apart, because when you think of suicide, you just think white people, but the course actually looked at a diverse group of people and gave us examples and scenarios, and we really had to stop and think about it, look at people's cultural heritage, and that for me is very, very important. And I was very impressed. There was a lot of it.
Rose, thank you so much for your time and your effort and for coming on the course and for doing this case study. I really appreciate it. I also wanted to give a huge thank you to Nook Wellness Pods for supporting Cerebration's mission to provide equitable training opportunities. You can find out more about Sistah Space at www.sistahspace.org. You can also find out more about Nook at www.nookpods.com and about Cerebration at www.cerebration.space.